Hello everyone, welcome back. We are redoing Daisy's house on Kringle, my winter island. This is the final home remodel that we are doing on this island, apart from the player house, which is a totally different situation. I think I talked about this in one of the previous videos. I can't remember whose it was. It might have been for Eric, I don't know. But the player house, completely empty. Literally only has the default floors and walls in there. Don't know what to do with it. Unfortunately, I'm also getting Happy Home Academy letters every week telling them to decorate my house and giving me hints because they're giving me a B rating since it's completely empty. I think at one point it was worse because I had roaches and I had accidentally time traveled a year ahead when I meant to time travel backwards, but that is a completely different story. I, again, am in love with Daisy's original interior, much like Fang's, Bianca's, and Rudy's. They were all pretty good, although I didn't like all the colors in Rudy's. It almost reminded me of like a kid's space for a lazy villager. Like, you know how some of the lazy villagers like Broccolo and I think Cube have a lot of toys and stuff around. I think Walker might have some too, but I like the facelift that we gave theirs. Looking back on it now, as I watched the footage when I, was editing this, I really could have changed the bedspread to a different blue. I might do that. I might go in and I might change the bedding to a blue pattern that Sable has because she does have a lot of really pretty ones that would probably go along with this whole color scheme. I know you might not think of Daisy as a wintry villager, but the interior of her house kind of has a nod to it, I guess, with the snowflake rug. Her Happy Home Paradise request is like a Santa house for Santa Claus, like a Christmassy village house. And I don't know, I really was struggling on who to have. I didn't want to get Rolf. I didn't want to get Flurry. I feel like those are like your typical winter villagers. And I didn't want to get another penguin. I was thinking of maybe grabbing Whitney because she's snooty and it would have been another wolf and the color palette would have gone well. So I ended up choosing Daisy. Of course, I got her from a Nook's Treasure Island. I did a villager order for her and she came to this island through the move-in process. She replaced Tia, and Tia was the one villager that I was unable to get moved out, and I can't understand why. She was my normal starting villager. I talked to her a lot. I gave her gifts. She was a good friend of mine. She would always give me gifts and reactions and whatever, and she just did not want to move. She is the reason why I spent a combined 13 hours in time traveling 5 months ahead into like end of May in order to get her to leave. And then finally I was like, well, what do we do now? We got to get another villager. So we grabbed Daisy, and she was always a thought in my mind. I have Flurry and Rolf living on my main island right now, but they are not living there permanently. They are kind of like what I'm categorizing as vacationing villagers, where they're there for a bit and then I just move them out whenever I see fit. Like if one of them wants to move or whatever, which I might time travel on there and get one of them to move out. Then it will hopefully be easier for me to move Elise. Although after all the time traveling that I did to move out these 4 villagers, I think I'm time traveled out. And I also want to make another island when we're done with Kringle that is only penguins, because I have a really cool idea for how to go about doing that. But that's going to require a lot of effort too. We do need to get to the point where we can redo all of their houses. We're going to need to do the prologue again. This is why I don't understand people who restart over and over and over again to make like a million different islands. The restart thing is so long. You have to go through the whole prologue. If you want to redo their houses, you have to go through all of the Happy Home Paradise DLC, which can take a while. Yes, you can speedrun it, and I think there are like routes to speedrun it more efficiently. Maybe I should look into that. But then if you want to redo the actual island itself, you have to terraform. And terraforming takes so long. I hate it. I really wish it was easier. I've said in videos in the past that I wish they had done what you can do in Happy Home Paradise, where you can just like have a top-down view of the outside and place furniture, but also let us terraform and have that be like a thing. I feel like it would be pretty easy to implement, but you could just do it by acre instead of doing it for the whole island map, because that would probably be too tedious and take up too many resources. Although I don't know what they're going to do in the next Animal Crossing game. They do have to have terraforming available, I feel, because they've had it here for so long and it's given us like the ultimate power to redo our islands. I do hope though that it is done more efficiently and less grindy and less monotonously. Anyway, here we are though. We're done. I do like the layout that we settled on here. Again, I tried to keep like the same sort of aesthetic that she had with her original house, but we just changed up the furniture a little bit. Like I said, I do think I am going to go back in and I might change her bedspread. I might just leave everything else the way it is. I'll have to try some stuff out. It might be that I don't end up changing it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.